Hello everyone, this is Supersnoopy here, back with another Star Wars: The Old Republic video. Today I have for you guys another Star Wars: Republic discussion episode. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about new players. Now I'm going to be talking about new players as in the players that just get into the game, how you can help them, and just overall, just how you can be aware of their presence. So I hope you guys enjoy this Star Wars: Republic discussion episode. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like. And if you guys want some nice gaming glasses, then check the links down below. No scope gaming glasses, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoy this video. And I will see you guys in the discussion. Alrighty guys, let's get into the discussion right now. So as you know, I'm going to be talking about new players. Now, in Star Wars: The Republic, you will normally find that there's a lot of new players. Mainly because, of course, a lot of them want to experience the story of Star Wars: The Republic, or they want to get a feel of it before they subscribe, or they just leave the game entirely. Now, I mean, new players, honestly, I feel like some people just have too many problems with them, or they just have some bone to pick on them. I have no idea why, but I'm just going to be going over that right now. So once again, a new player is usually someone that subscribed to the game recently, or is free to play, or is preferred. Is just trying to get a feel of the game, because I know that a lot of people want to get a feel of the game just because sometimes they aren't really sure about games and they want to see what they're all about. And that's the one good thing about this game, is that if you are new, you can go ahead and just see what it's like just by simply playing these starter planets and all that stuff. But besides that, once again, one thing that I feel is sometimes a problem is that a lot of the veterans in Star Wars: The Republic seem to get really angry at new players. Now, I can understand if there's a new player in like a Warzone or something, you're like in low-level PvP, and they're having some problems and they don't know exactly what to do. I don't understand why sometimes I see players just getting really irritated at them since they don't really know what to do just yet, since they just got the game and they're getting into it right now. And I feel like that can be a problem, because I feel like sometimes the community just gets it, or gets the wrong idea and instantly assumes that if someone doesn't know something, then clearly they're in the wrong, or they're just completely terrible at the game, which I feel like isn't really the case at all. But of course, once again, it does happen far too often. Now, I mean, it doesn't really bother me when people do get irritated at, the players that aren't doing the best when it comes down to, playing the game. Because once again, I mean, when it comes down to playing the game, it's alright if you do run into some problems, and there are people being extremely toxic, but the one thing that does really irritate me is when you do have people being toxic just because the player that you are in a match with is just being completely, just having some problems and isn't really causing problems overall. I feel like that's the one big problem, is that people just confuse everything. Now, that's my view on people that are being rude to the new players. Now, the thing that I do want to talk about next, of course, is the actual new players and learning the game. Now, I can understand when you are a new player, or if you're a free-to-play and you want to play the story, then that's completely fine. The only thing I don't understand every now and then is when players refuse to learn the mechanics of the game or just completely deny help. Now, I can understand that sometimes you want to be on your own and you don't want help, but of course, I mean, if you're going to play a game mode like the Warzone game modes in PvP, then I feel like it's kind of necessary to learn how to exactly play them. Because, I mean, if you don't learn how to play the game modes, then it can become a huge problem later on when you're, like, say, level 50 to level 60, and then people start to catch on, that you don't exactly know how to play the game efficiently. Now, I mean, that's with most MMOs, is that there's a learning curve, and with that learning curve, there, of course, is the idea of just trying to figure the game out. And sometimes MMO players forget that fact, and, of course, they just kind of, wander on their own and don't really do too much. And then, of course, when they get into the high-end game and they have no idea how to do certain things, then people get really irritated. So if you are a new player, then I would definitely recommend to go ahead and try to learn the basic ropes of the game, because it really makes me kind of disappointed when you have a bunch of players just being extremely rude to someone that doesn't exactly know certain mechanics. Now, I mean, I don't get mad at people that don't know mechanics. I mean, even if they are high level, some people do get to high level and no one bothers to help them, or someone does and they don't take the advice. So I mean, it is one thing right there, is you just got to go ahead and learn exactly how to play the game efficiently, and of course just try to do some stuff. I mean, that doesn't even require looking up guides. I mean, if you just simply like look into the tutorials in the game that they give you, that's a good start, because once again, I know that a lot of people seem to just forget that there are tutorials that give you basic idea of how to play certain game modes and do other things. So that's just something right there, of course. Now, new players overall, I feel like they are really nice to the game once again. because obviously with new players, that means the game, of course, is growing. And I feel like with Knights of the Fallen Empire, the game is going to grow quite a bit during the opening month, which is right now. So I feel like that's going to be really useful because, once again, when the expansion does release, I feel like a lot of veteran players are going to be coming back, and of course some newer players might likely show up to try and see how the game is. Because I mean, if you just subscribe, just like one subscription for 1 month, you can go ahead and actually play October 27th, I think, because you didn't, or if you didn't subscribe before that, then, or before a certain time period, then of course you won't get the early access. But I mean, if you subscribe, then it just gives you a simple time to go ahead and try the game out with a fresh level 60. So I mean, if you want to do that, then that's something that's nice right there, of course. Now, I mean, another thing as well is that that's really useful for players that just want to get into the game, because I mean, it's just one subscription, and after that, if you don't like the game, they can be completely done with it. Or if you want to try free to play, then you can just see how the game is, and of course, if you like it, then you can continue on paying and or just playing the game for free. That's also a good thing. I mean, there are a ton of restrictions with this game, and I think that a lot of new players, when it comes down to actually playing the game, because they see all the restrictions, and they're, a lot of the restrictions are a bit of a problem. But for the most part, I mean, if you kind of figure out the workarounds, if you don't want to subscribe, then they can be really useful. Because I mean, I've always kind of wanted to create a guide video on certain workarounds for if you don't want to subscribe. But there are some good ways that might cost you some in the beginning. But of course, if you buy certain things, then it will allow you to be all set as a preferred player. So that's pretty cool right there. But I mean, for the most part, that's just the basic idea of new players. I mean, personally, I don't have a problem with them, and it's also really good that we get new players into the game because, of course, they are getting interested into Star Wars: The Old Republic. And I feel like it's really good when someone's a new player because it does allow them to see the game at a different place. I mean, personally, I'm pretty sure that everyone, when they first played this game, was obviously like really bad at it and just tried to learn from there. Because I mean, personally, I remember I was so bad when I actually started this game and like started my character that I was like already to like level 15, only had the hammer shot and I think the explosive round. So I mean, I really didn't do too much, and I was a complete scrub back then. But of course, as a new player, you do get to learn, and of course, you can just see different things. And I did take the advice from other people, and as you can tell, that really does help when it comes down to, playing the game on its own. Because I feel like a lot of people just seem to forget that, of course, if you start to learn the game and the ropes of the whole entire game itself. I mean, personally, you don't even have to play PvP or do operations or anything. Just by learning your class or just by learning how the game itself works, it does teach you a lot and allows you to play the game and have a better time. Because, I mean, personally, I thought the game was a bit boring because I was just a complete scrub back then. Wouldn't even go to the class trainer. Would just continue to do the missions without even going to the trainer and trying to get new abilities. But, of course, I mean, I did get the commando, and I picked the spec, as you can tell, on this tune right here. And it just went from there. I mean, I just kind of learned the game from that point since becoming a commando. And now, obviously, I've started to, learn the game a bit more. And it's really nice because, once again, I've been trying to do some more operations recently. And, of course, trying to do some more PvP because it is really fun to do that. And I feel like if you are a new player, then this would be really good. And it's also really good because, once again, I mean, you get to try out a game for free right here. And if you don't like it, then, of course, you can leave. Or if you enjoy it, then you have another chance to just see some different things. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to do it for this Star Wars: The Old Republic discussion episode. So if you guys enjoyed this episode going over new players, as always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.